That's right. Yeah. We are live. We are back in action after a wild, wacky week 5. We continue the vibe into NFL week 6 bag of tricks, and now it's time to get your football fix. Welcome back in for another live edition of the Third and Three podcast, presented by the Sports Column and brought to you by Reebok. Yes, Reebok. Head on over to thirdandthreepodcast.com for all the goodies. Reebok outerwear, footwear. We got your beer drop. We got your meatworks, all discounted prices. By the way, Beer Drop and Meatworks shipped to your house for free. And Reebok, you get sweet deals with Third and Three. And Tricky Nicky G knows how that goes. What's happening, girl?
What's up? What's up? Oh, this week I am coming to you guys from the wonderful Hyatt Regency McCormick Place in Chicago. So I really feel like, where's Waldo? And these time zones keep messing me up, but I'm here. I made it. We're here. It's all good.
Waldo was in the Windy City this weekend, or this weekend, saying, well, make the best out of it. They're lucky for having you. Lucky for having you, no doubt. I know you're getting some cruddy weather up there, but D, we don't know nothing about that, man. You're chilling in Arizona right now, baby. How you feeling?
Yeah, man. Coming to you live from somebody's house that I stole.
My mom, right? You two probably planned that.
Yeah.
So, but nah, you're right about the weather. It's real nice this time of year in Arizona. I've got through the summer months, so now we're getting to those months where it gets really, really nice out here. So
right.
I got looking forward to it.
I'm with you, man. Like up until like now, or even like still like another month from now, we're gonna have like this, still hot weather. The humidity's starting to go away, but it's gonna be beautiful. While you guys have your damn winter up there, we're gonna be chilling. That's what it's all about. So. Anyway, here we go, man. Third and Three. My name is Jason Fearman, the sports prophet, coming at you, ready to rock with my tag team partners. So let's get her going. We got to talk a little bit about last week, guys, before we jump into week 6 already. Here we go. But neighborhood news to begin with: Grady on Brady crime and Chris Jones driving the car into the ground. We have to talk about it. I don't understand what's going on over here. Should we have replay for roughing the passer? So obviously, anybody who doesn't have a background, very quick. We know Chris Jones, amazing sack on Derek Carr, strips the ball actually from him. So if they did have replay, they would see that he stripped the ball before he kind of landed on him, because he did put his left arm out to brace. And of course, that ridiculous thing, Grady Jarrett, nothing but a clean sack, hit him right in the midsection. And so what? He went down a little bit hard. Well, that's football. That's what happens, D. So these are bogus calls, and that's why I'm all for having instant replay for roughing the passer, plays niggas in general.
Yeah, no, I think they should install instant replay for these type of plays, because the Atlanta game, that changed the game.
Yes.
Right? Because Atlanta had all the momentum. In the second half, the Buccaneers couldn't score. In the fourth quarter, Atlanta started finding their rhythm offensively. So there's no telling what happens if they call that correctly and don't call anything. And Atlanta gets the ball back right there.
Dude, Atlanta had the momentum, man, right? They were rolling. Yeah. They were coming back.
Yeah, they had all the momentum on their side. Great play by Grady Jarrett. And the thing is, even if you install replay, how is that call made in the first place? The one with Chris Jones is horrible, but I can see how it can happen per the rules. I can see how the referee can make that mistake. The one with Brady, where is the roughing the passer at? Like,
see, I'm with you, bro. And keep going. I'm with you, but I'm going to play devil's advocate and say that he got. Look, I agree, it was a bullshit call, but it looked like he got whipped around and thrown down through the ground all the way to hell on the bottom of the earth. That's what it appeared like, even though it wasn't that. And it's hard for them to differentiate, but I wouldn't have called it. So I'm with you, bro. I'm with you.
Yeah, no, like I said, both of them are horrible calls. But for me, the Chris Jones ones, because of the rules on the Chris Jones one, I can see how the referee can make that mistake, because he's like, oh, did he drive him into the ground? Both are horrible. Like you said, the Chris Jones play was an awesome play.
Oh my God.
And yeah, it was an awesome play. And for you to negate that play on a bad call, this makes no sense. And also, instead of, I guess you can do it with replay, but I've been saying this for years. They should have someone in New York assigned to each game. They should have referees in New York at the headquarters, whatever it is, assigned to each game as the common sense guy. Whenever there's a bad call, the guy, hey, that was a horrible call. Change it. Don't make that play. Don't make that call. Go back. Do whatever you got to do to make sure that call doesn't happen. Just a common sense guy. Whenever there's a horrible call, because referees are human, right? They're going to make mistakes. Just have a common sense guy. Hey, that obviously was not a roughing the passer. It was a regular tackle. Tom Brady, first of all, Tom Brady saying I don't throw the flags when he complained when he got up to get the flag. Like as soon as he got thrown to the ground, he throws his leg up.
Roundhouse kick it at Grady.
Yeah, he tried to kick Jared, and then he looks at the referee as if you're not going to throw the flag. Do you not know who I am? I'm Tom Brady. You better throw that flag. He definitely did that. So I don't throw the flags. So yes, those thankfully, the Kansas City game that didn't affect the outcome. But with the Atlanta game, we can't say it cost them the game because their offense will still have to come through. But it cost them an opportunity to win the game, and we just can't have that happen. These players work way too hard to have plays like that and calls like that cost them opportunity to win the game. So yes, have replay for that, or just have a common sense guy, right? Because when the whole thing happened with the no call and NOLA, people got on the Saints fans. How can you complain about the calls like that? Bad calls happen all the time. Like it wasn't the most egregious pass interference call of all time. But just have a common sense guy there to say, hey, yo, that was an obvious pass interference. Let's throw the flag right there. That was obviously not roughing the passer. Let's pick up that flag. That's all you need. That's all you need. And both of them were obviously not roughing the passer.
You see, now, Nikki, we see a version of what Dee is talking about with a common sense guy where they do go to New York or New York gets to review the replay, but it's not necessarily like Dee wants it or like we want it, where, they're watching and they can see it in real time. And it's like, nope, this happened. We don't have to go to a 20-minute replay and have you guys look like fools and get overturned. So all that is, take that what you want, but encompassing everything. I hate delaying the game more and more. I really don't like it, but I'd rather the call be right. And for something like that in two plays, which were game-changing plays, you got to do it, Nikki, in my opinion.
Yeah, something has to be done. By the way, have you guys ever seen a crowd boo for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes straight? Other than the draft when Roger Goodell comes out and everybody just wants to boo for hours and hours. Kansas City fans were pissed, and I don't blame them one bit. But it's like Dee said, like, how are we even getting to that call anyway? And I understand that they're human, and I don't know if there's any technology out there that could be used as like a backup. But I don't know. Common sense, the whole friggin' stadium, we all saw it. Why can't you just pick it up? Like, why can't we have a rule where it's like, oh shit, my bad. You get one really bad, my bad. Let me pick that back up. Like, something has to be done. And thankfully, like you said, that didn't affect the outcome of the game. But we have seen horrible calls where it does. So I was pissed for the Kansas City fan. I'm watching it and I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Right, guys, because you know what? If we can see it in real time within 5 seconds, then how come they can't say it and listen, radio down or call them on the fucking cell phone or whatever it's got to be and like, yo, dude, this is what happened. Pick up the flag. Let's move on. They can do that instantaneously. They don't even need to say, oh, let's waste the clock. Let's take a timeout over here and let's find out what we got wrong. New York or wherever, Japan, I don't care where they are. They can call right away and say, we got a problem here. Let's fix it.
And they'll get a letter, right? That's all they'll get is a letter.
Yeah, that's all they're going. And the referee doubled down on it, talking about he slung him to the ground.
Yeah,
shut up. He slung him to the ground as if we're playing basketball, where that would be illegal. Right. No, you're playing football, and slinging somebody to the ground is part of the deal, right? Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. I wonder if this is an overreaction to what happened to Tua.
It is,
right?
Yeah, it is.
And with the Tua play. Even that, he got slung down hard, but he got slung down hard because he's Tua, because he's small. And like a bigger quarterback doesn't get slung down as hard. So it's hard to say, like, to tell a defender not to sling a guy down when these quarterbacks are big dudes. Like, imagine trying to tackle Josh Allen and thinking about, I can't tackle him too hard. Yeah. Like, imagine as a defensive player, you're done. You're done. You're not going to tackle him if you're second guessing yourself on how to tackle him. Like, they can't do this to defensive players. And I'm a Saints fan. I get joy out of everything that affects Atlanta Falcons negatively. And I couldn't even enjoy this. Like, that's how bad it was. They have to let defensive players play defense. And that's part of the game. You can make football safer through technology and taking away like the launching and helmet to helmet. But football is still going to be football. Even 100 years from now, football is still, if you want it to be tackle football, it's still going to be dangerous because that's the nature of the game. They understand that when they sign up.
Yes. And a couple of things. You know, you can call it a Tua reaction, but in a way, it's like that doesn't make any sense. A Tua reaction is let's make sure the quarterback is okay. Let's not call a shitty penalty or make something up. So it's not even like it's a Tua reaction. It's a dumb reaction to what happened to Tua, because what happened to Tua is you're worried about what happened after the fact. You're not worried about calling roughing the passer on a bogus play. And the second thing is that these referees get graded on these games. And when they get a call incorrect or bad or whatever you want to call it, that does get written up. And guys like, Jerome Boger, for example, he was refereeing that game. That's going to be a negative on him and his team going forward. Just like whoever was reffing last night, I don't remember, but John Parry, former referee, was talking about it. So, yeah, it'd be nice for them to fix it again. We don't want to prolong games. We just want to get it right. And there's nothing wrong with that. We just want to get it right.
Further to your point, it doesn't take that long. Like there's plays where they'll call a touchdown and then they'll notice that it's short within under a minute. It's like, oh, this is short. And they go so fast. They can do the same thing with roughing the passer penalties.
Exactly. There's no reason why they can't. And you know what? They will, because they realize, oh, we have the technology, we have the ability to do it, and we're screwing up these calls. Fans are getting pissed off. Let's get it right. And you know what? They'll do it. So we'll see.
Just the fans, though. It's like you're affecting how defenses are playing. I mean, if I was a defensive player, I would be like,
it's a great point, Nikki.
Yeah. I'm sure there are plenty of players out there who are going to think twice before they do something. And you're taking away one of the best parts of the game. It is a violent game. Can we this is not a secret, people. Can we just put that out there? This is a violent game. And yes, it is on the trainers and the medical staff and the professionals to, adequately evaluate these players and make sure they're safe. And I understand all that, but at the heart of it is a violent game. Defenses are you are getting yourself jacked up to smash people.
That's why they wear all those pads and the helmet and everything. That's why they're all, because they're going to get hit and they understand that. That's taking precautions. And you know what? You're right, Nikki. That is a great point. Against the defense, defenses are going to think twice. I'm picturing Micah Parsons going in on Jalen Hurts, and Jalen Hurts can squat 600 pounds. So if Micah Parsons doesn't give it his all, Hurts is going to get right out of the tackle where he should be sacked. That is a great point. No freaking doubt. I hope they fix it, because they're really taking it away. They're really destroying the game. Before we know it, it's going to be like the Pro Bowl. It's going to be flag football, and people are going to be really pissed off, and we're going to start watching a lot more other football, soccer. But anyway, I digress. Got to get you guys' opinion about this whole Davante Adams thing. And I wanted to read you a really quick article on the latest, not the whole article, obviously, but just a glimpse of it. Las Vegas receiver Davante Adams has been charged with misdemeanor assault now for shoving a photographer to the ground as he left the field after the loss to Kansas City on Monday night. Kansas City police said that Adams pushed this guy, Ryan Zebley, who was working as a freelance photographer, ESPN, to go to the ground while running off the field following the Raiders' loss. The police called the push an intentional overt act that caused whiplash, a headache, and possible minor concussion. Charges were filed Wednesday morning. So, look, I am not calling anybody a liar, but I have a really hard time believing that guy basically just fell to the ground and all of a sudden he's got all these issues with him. And it, again, just seems like the money.
Unless he's elderly.
I don't think he was. That's a good question. It's a good question. And again, Davante Adams and Nikki never, ever, ever should have done what he did. He deserves a suspension. He deserves a fine. And the next person who does do this, hopefully it won't happen, should get more. So let this be a one-time example. But Nikki, what do you think? I think one game at least suspension is what I think in a fine.
I actually think it should be a little bit more. I think it should be at least 3, because how stupid.
3. Okay, that's all right. I'm all right.
Why are you being? You are a professional at the end of the day, like we all are in our jobs and stuff. So you need to act like a professional. And to me, stupidity with some of these players just blows my mind. It is a privilege that you get to play. And just because you're Davante Adams, no, I'm sorry. It's the stupid shit that really bothers me. So, no, I would say at least 3. Now, I don't know if this guy has a concussion, but did he have his camera? Maybe his camera hit him in the head. I don't know. They carry heavy equipment. We've all covered games. We've been with photographers. So, I don't know. I'm not calling the guy a liar. I mean, but I don't know. I don't know if he was carrying his camera with him or how it all went down. But I'm sorry. That was just stupid. You just don't do that.
All right, 3 games. I don't even have a problem with that, D. I mean, look, Devontae Adams was 100% wrong. He admitted he was wrong. He knew he knew exactly what he did. Do you give him in some sort of way any pass in the world because he had just put his head up and saw this guy in front of him and he just kind of reacted?
That was going to be my point. Like when you watch the actual footage and there's different angles of it, Devontae Adams has his head down. He comes up and the guy comes right in front of him. It's not like Devontae Adams went out to push him. Like he came to him and Devontae Adams reacted. Now, he shouldn't have reacted in that way. And of course, the frustration from the game is what led to him pushing him. But his initial reaction, he could have thought it was a fan or anybody initially because he has his head down. He picks his head up and sees somebody coming right at him or like right by him that close.
And we saw a fan run out. We saw a fan run out on the field just the other day where Bobby Wagner smashed him right down, and he was carrying the smoke purple thing or whatever. So, fair point. Fair point.
Yeah. So he could, like I said, he could have thought it was a fan, but of course his frustration also led to that push. If he's not mad, he probably just backs up like, oh, whoa, like, what's this guy doing? So I wouldn't suspend him 3 games, maybe 1. I'll do a hefty fine. So maybe 1 game, a hefty fine, whatever their fine system is. But he has a history of being a good guy in the league. So I would put that into perspective as well. It's not like it's, Avantez Perfect from back in the day. Somebody like him, he pushes a fan. You're like, okay, dude, you get 3 to 5 games because you have a history of trying to hurt people and all this stuff here. Devontae Adams, as far as we know, has been a good guy his whole time in the league. So because of his first incident, I would go hefty fine, maybe 1 game suspension, but I wouldn't go 3 just because of his history in the league. And he did apologize right away. So I would think that because he did show contrition and was caught off guard by the guy. It wasn't like he searched out somebody to push. So I would say 1 game a hefty fine.
Yeah, I think 2 things. Like you alluded to, Devontae Adams has been nothing but a good guy, doing commercials, well-liked around the league, so on and so forth. By the way, that was great if you watched the beginning of the game last night where they had him and Steve Young and Robert Griffin throwing the ball. I don't know if you guys saw that, but that was an amazing interview. It was fantastic, by the way. But then on the other hand, Nikki, I'm kind of with you. You got to set a precedent for something like this because, yes, this is few, far, and in between. And I can't remember the last time anything like this happened. And you hope it doesn't happen again. But you got to set a precedent for something like that. And I do get it. But at the same time, I'm kind of with D. I think this was a total reaction. Not that, again, Devontae Adams sought him out. So I definitely agree. A suspension. I'm more on the side of D with this one with 1 game and money. But you know what? If they gave him 3, I wouldn't be like, whoa. I would say, okay, they're putting their foot down. So I can understand.
But the league needs to. I mean, look at like all, and in the grand scheme of things, is this as, egregious as, some of these other players, the things that they have done. But it's like, okay, what if this happens again next week? So is the standard just going to be 1 game because you were frustrated?
Again, I'm saying with this one, because because he looked like a fan coming out of nowhere, to me, it was like, oh man, like, what are you doing? Like, and if it was a fan, he wouldn't even got in trouble for it. It'd be like everybody would have like this idiot fan jumping out in front of Devontae Adams for it. But because of the photographer, that's why he got in trouble for it. And what is the photographer doing? I'm not trying to blame the victim, but what is he doing in that moment where he's not paying attention to who's coming out and like jumping out in front of him like that? Like you said, we've all covered games, so we all like at that moment we're paying attention to those guys coming out. We're walking, usually, we're not photographers, but we're walking behind them, maybe going to the press conference, whatever. Yeah. And you're not walking in front of, like, I've never done it to where I wasn't paying attention and I just walked in front of a player because you're so in the moment, you're watching everything that's going on, and then you walk behind them or you walk in front of them to get to where you're going to for the interviews. And for a photographer, I know it's different because pretty much their job is done at that point. And he's, probably on his way, getting ready to go and didn't see him. But you got to pay attention too. So not to blame the victim, but he also has to pay attention in that moment and not just come out in front of somebody like that. Because anybody could have made that same mistake, like, "Yo, what are you doing?" and push them down like that.
Yeah, I mean that's all well, fair, said, and good, and I totally understand that. Again, I don't believe that Devontae Adams is a malicious person, and he really wanted to do that. I think that they lost the game. He was pissed the hell off, and that guy happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. But still, it happened. And it cannot be overlooked in any way, shape, or form. This cannot be overlooked. So I fully suspect the suspension to come down. We'll see how much it is, but I'm glad we all got our piece in over there. There were a few more things I wanted to go over in neighborhood news, but we got a lot of stuff to get to. Just real quick, obviously Matt Rule fired. Steve Wilkes comes in. I think that's just amazing how much money that Matt Rule got, Nikki, that he gets to walk away with. I mean, that's so sick. I mean, talk about winning, right? Like, all right, I don't have to work like legitimately for the next 4 years and just collect another $60 million or whatever it is.
I know. I'm so tempted to like go fuck up a team for a year,
Yeah,
and just,
right.
like take all this money and chill for the rest of my life.
That's living the life.
I mean, why not? Like, I'm just glad that the Giants didn't get him. I really am.
How about that, right? Because you guys were in the running for that one, right?
That is so nuts that it was that much money left on that contract. Like they had to think Matt Rule is going to be the greatest coach of all time. For him to get that type of contract on his first head coaching job in the NFL,
never should have got it to begin with. Crazy, ridiculous.
Yeah, that's nuts. And like he was brought in because he's the guy who turns programs around, but turning a program around is different than turning a NFL team around.
Yeah, you ain't kidding.
And I was listening to a show the other day, and they were talking about all the college coaches who've come up. Only a very select few have been successful for the college coaches who come up to the NFL. And some of them have been successful, but then, it's a very short stint, right? Like Jim Kelly, the guy who used to coach for
Chip Kelly.
The guy who used to coach for the Texans, who they let go after he ruined the team. Bill O'Brien. He had some successful years there where he won a division and stuff like that. But overall, you're like looking at the impact he had, he left him a mess. So we really haven't seen too many, coaches like, Jimmy Johnson and stuff like that to come from college and really make a good impact in the NFL. So if I was a GM, it would make me rethink hiring a college guy because the examples we have now, Cliff Kingsbury, you guys know how I feel about him. So you have all of these examples right now of coaches who come in and you're like, the whole college thing isn't working out. One of the worst coaches of all time, Urban Meyer, he's probably going to go down as maybe the worst NFL hire ever. Yeah. It's like a legend in college. So for me to hire a college guy, oh man, I would really have to believe in them as an NFL coach before I even did that, because this is terrible. To have to owe him that much money, that is horrible.
Listen, they tried it with Steve Spurrier, a great college coach. It didn't work out. The only other one I can really think of that has legitimately worked out for is Pete Carroll. I mean, that's the only other guy I can think of that it actually is.
Carroll, Jimmy Johnson. Very select few.
That's it. Chip Kelly did okay in the NFL. He actually had a very good offense with Philadelphia. They went to the playoffs a couple of times. But, I mean, as far as longevity, no, man, I'm with you 100% on that one. Really. Yeah. Wow. All right, let's get to a few more things over here. All right, before we get to our picks. Gutsy call. There was so many things to do, but let's talk about it because it just recently happened. What do you guys think? Josh McDaniels goes for the 2-point conversion to take a 1-point lead with over 4 minutes to go in the game. They don't convert, so now they're down 30-29 instead of tying the game at 30. The Chiefs had to score either way. And the Raiders had to stop them either way, guys. That's my point about this whole thing. No matter what, whether they took the lead by 1 or they tied, they were going to have to stop the Chiefs, okay? So why do it? And you know what? They ended up stopping the Chiefs. Oh, my God. Wow, they really did it. You know what? They were down by 1, and it was too late. The Raiders could have had a chance with the ball to win or at the very least go to overtime, Nikki. That is a gutsy call, and I got another gutsy call from McDaniels. But your thoughts on that? Because listen, hindsight is 20/20. But before they even went for it, I'm like, what in the hell are you doing? Tie up the game.
I know. I'm with you. I think you tie up the game in that case. That's the thing, right? We always say this every week with these gutsy calls. Like, hey, if I don't think this was that scenario really, but if it works, you're a genius. If it doesn't, you're an idiot. But I mean, just tie up the game. Just
tie the game.
Tie
the game. At worst, again, you have to. That's the whole point. You have to stop Kansas City no matter what.
Right, no matter what.
No matter what, you're not going up by a field goal where, they just, no matter what, Kansas City, if they kick a field goal, you're only up by 1, they win the game. Do the freaking math, McDaniels.
Yeah, it didn't make sense to me. Like some of the other times when we've seen coaches be aggressive, you can see what they thought, right? You can even if you disagree with it, you can see the thought process. Mm-hmm. With this one, I don't see the thought process. Like you said, you have to stop them either way.
Yes.
And the thing is, it didn't cost them the game. What cost them the game was Hunter Renfrow running into Devontae Adams. on that play, but like you said, I don't understand. Like the benefit of it didn't make sense to me. Like there's been a few of those where teams have gone for it, and the math didn't math for me. Like the math ain't math.
Yeah.
It just didn't make sense to me. So that one,
even Einstein would have problems with this shit. I mean, for real. And another thing, D, is that, you know what? This is why fuck analytics. Analytics said go for it. Up your ass, analytics, right?
Yeah.
I mean, are you kidding
And
me?
my thing is, where do these percentages come from? I saw the whole like chart where it was like if they would have made the 2, there's a 55% chance of winning. If they'd have made the extra point of it, and 41%.
Yeah.
You're playing Kansas City. So once you tie the game or even go up 1, your chances of winning at that point are still low because you have to stop Kansas City and stop Patrick Mahomes. So either way, you're fighting an uphill battle.
Yeah.
But at least an uphill battle where if you do stop them, you go to overtime, like you said. And again, they had a chance to win. They messed up on the play. Somebody's miscommunicated. It might have been Adams's fault, but somebody on that play, one of those wide receivers had a miscommunication on their route, and they just ran into each other. Good thing he didn't get hurt on that one because that was a nasty collision.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make sense to me. Why do that? And McDaniels has had a lot of calls like that so far where you're like, what are you doing? It's
What
crazy.
are you doing this right? Yeah, that's no wonder why you failed in Denver, so miserably. And yeah, anytime you have 2 receivers in the same spot on a long ball like that, something went wrong. Real quick question we got over here. Yep, Nikki does do the picks. Yes, she does.
Don't listen to Evan. That's my other co-host on Channel Side Bets, which I apparently just suck on that show. So
she does pretty good over here. We're going to get to it. McDaniels did make another crazy gutsy call, though, in that game on 4th and 1 in the beginning of the game, going for it and hitting Devontae Adams on that. Again, terrible call. Don't go for it, but it worked out for him that time.
It was weird because he went for that one, and then there was another one later on where they were actually closer and more of that range where you would normally go for it, and he didn't go for it. And they were up 14-0. He decided to take the 3. So it's not consistent. Like, my thing is, if you're going to be aggressive, be consistent. Be consistent and be who you are. Like, the Ravens are mostly consistent with that. Like, they're going to be aggressive. We know that. And okay, you can live with it if that's what you're going to be. But don't be wishy-washy with it.
I know. No, I'm with you. Yeah. Now, Nikki, your thoughts on that? I mean, did you be like 4th and 1 right now on your second possession in the first quarter? What are you, nuts?
Josh McDaniels is like wild. Like he's just like you try to figure out his style, right? Like how many times has he tried this, right? And he just you can't figure it out. Like, are you going to be aggressive? Like, be like Brian Dable then. Hey, we're going to be aggressive. We're going for the win. And I don't care. Fine, then I respect that. But this back and forth, I'm with you, D. It's like pick a lane and drive in it for a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Brian Dable, speaking of which, head coach of the year candidate right now.
That was my prediction. Let it be. Let me just recap what I told everybody and predicted. We're not there yet. But I did say Saquon is back. Check. I said the Giants are going to win 9 games. Looks like we're on track for that. I did say Saquon, comeback player of the year prediction. Looks like on track. And I did predict Brian Dable, coach of the year. So
you did.
When it comes to the Giants, and also I do suck on channel side bets, but I am like 5-0 when it comes to picking the Giants against the spread. So
which is all that matters. That's all that matters.
I'll give you some slack, Nikki. This year has been one of the roughest years to try to pick games. Period, straight up, and against the spread has been rough too. Like this year, I wanted to ask you guys a question: are you enjoying this kind of year more, where even the team that's quote unquote dominant still has question marks? Like Philadelphia's undefeated, but they barely beat Arizona, right? Then you got Buffalo, who looks very dominant, but has had those games where you like Josh Allen has those moments where he goes back to being old Josh Allen. Are you enjoying this kind of year more, or do you want to see a few teams be great?
Now, you see, Nikki, this is what I think. Look, first of all, I think we have 3 teams at the top, Philly, Buffalo, and Kansas City, which are inarguable. But other than that, I did actually write an article last night, Power 32 rankings on 3rd-and-3podcast.com, where I said we have so much parity in the league right now, where numbers 4 through 12, you can put anybody in there. So to answer your question, I like it. Yeah, I dig it.
I like it till you have to go live and pick it. And then people are like, well, what are you thinking? Why are you making these picks? No, I like it, right? It's exciting.
It's exciting for sure, because every team, like you said, from basically 4 to like 20, you can make an argument for any of those teams can beat each other any given Sunday. There's only the 3 teams, like you said, that really kind of separate themselves from the pack. And even Kansas City has had moments where you're like, they barely beat the Raiders, who have been bad, or they lose to the Colts, who look horrible this year. So you're like, every team has their flaws. No team is like just above the pack where you're like, okay, this team is going to be the team. So this year's going to be very exciting going down the stretch as far as who gets in there.
I love it. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. What up, Ben? What's happening? Yeah, Bills trade for CMC. That didn't actually happen. I know that was on the table. That'd be amazing if it happened. I would love to see an update right now on my phone. If that actually did happen, I would flip out.
Did that happen?
Not as far as I know yet. Is that for real?
We'll be taken from my night. You know, I got to do the news on Sundays.
My phone would have blown up. Forget about it.
Yeah, it would have been crazy. That would be, for them to get a running back like that would be nasty.
That would be insane.
Yeah, we already have him in the Super Bowl, but then you can really clink, lock them in, no doubt. All right, that was the guts. And now we got to get to the little putsy call over here. The putsy call, to me, we can go all the way back to the Broncos. Guys, in that game, I know it was last Thursday night, but real quickly, the Broncos, why did they run down the clock?
Oh, my God.
Up by 3 points, right? What are you doing? You're up by 3, go up by 6. And here's the kicker. Nobody in that game scored a touchdown. So you know what? Go up by 6 points because nobody's scoring a touchdown in that game. And you're going to leave a minimal amount of time with no timeouts. What are you doing? Nathaniel Hackett, you are in runnings with Brandon Staley for the worst coach of all time.
It's hilarious. I think that Brandon Staley and Nathaniel Hackett went to the same online program to get their coaching certificates. Like, because they both
get it through Rutgers or some shit. Hey, of course, he didn't coach a football.
You know that he almost screwed up too on 4th and 2. He goes for it in his own territory, and the Browns they're only down by 2 points. What are you doing? You're up by 2 points. What are you doing? You're giving them the game. I don't understand.
Yeah, exactly. That one almost gave the game away, and then at the end, trying to defend it, like you got lucky that the kicker missed it. You got lucky, Brandon Staley. Like, don't try to defend your decision after you get lucky. The kicker makes the field goal. You're the talk of the week of how horrible the decision that was.
I have a theory, D. I think that he knows that the next dumb thing that happens that doesn't work out, he's going to get fired. So he said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going for it. He just said, screw it.
Hey, maybe he's on that Matt Rule plan. Maybe he has the same type of contract where he's like, hey, I'm going to get fired and just be able to sit on my ass for the rest of my days.
Yeah.
But
I understand, man. Shit.
The Denver game, first of all, I think that the Denver Colts Thursday night game was punishment for something that we've done. Oh. It was punishment for something that we've done out there. Like NFL fans, I don't know what we did, but that game was punishment. And then this Washington-Chicago game is further punishment. We've done something wrong for these Thursday night games to be this bad. And did Amazon approve the package? They paid a lot of money for this. Yeah. Did they approve the package of games for this? Because there's no way they looked at this and was like, yo, we really – because, okay, so the Denver Colts game I get because we thought both those teams were going to be good coming into the season.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. Washington, Chicago, no one thought these teams were going to be good.
No.
Like, nobody predicted these teams would be good. We all thought these teams would be bad. So to get Washington, Chicago on Thursday night is like, yo, I would feel like if I was, Jeff Bezos or whoever made the decision for Amazon to get this package, I'd be like, yo, really? Y'all gave us Washington, Chicago.
I bet you Chicago and Washington they had to take money out of their own pockets, Nikki, in order to play this game.
No, you know what it is? It's all the karma. It's all these fans out here who root for their teams to lose. It's all these people who think Eli Manning's not a Hall of Famer. It's all this nasty karma. It's why we are stuck. Which, by the way, I had to defend on Barbershop Podcast D, which they said that you came on.
I've been on there. Great guy.
Yeah. So then they hit me. Everything was cool, right? We get to the end of the show and they say Eli Manning's only getting in the Hall of Fame because of his last name. Whoop, that was it. I went off. So if you guys want to see me go off about it again, you can check that show out too from last night.
Love it. Fan-freaking-tastic. Excellent. Excellent. All right. What do you say? So we got a little more.
Jay. One last thing, Jay.
Yeah.
Not only did they mess it up in regulation, overtime. You're 4th and 1. You don't need a touchdown. It wasn't 4th and goal. It's 4th and 1. Run the ball, get the 1 yard, and continue going. But no, you try to force it in the end zone. Russell Wilson misses a wide open receiver. But then you try to force it on Stephon Gilmore, who's been locking down. He's the reason you're in this position in the first place because he's the one who got the interception in regulation.
Yeah.
Oh my! If I was Denver's defense, I wouldn't be able to talk to Russell or Nathaniel Hackett.
Oh my God.
Nathaniel Hackett, like, can we just, you can't hack it. Like, he hired the assistant a couple weeks ago, right? Like, something is wrong in Denver.
Yeah.
Here's what I'll say. it can't all be Russell Wilson. He's not a bad quarterback. Like,
yeah,
he's not. So something is really, really wrong there. I think it's probably not a fit, right? I don't think we need to see an entire season to figure out that this isn't a fit.
And it seems that the chemistries are working because, you know what, they've given Russell the side eye on the sideline a lot. You know, Kenny Hamler was awfully pissed because he was wide open. I mean, there were a lot of things going on. So it doesn't look real pretty over there at all. It really
then we see him on primetime again Monday night.
Whoa,
I know, right? I know. Scheduling, they should have foreseen this coming. They should have talked to the sports. I thought Denver was going to be good, so who am I to say? Anyway, whatever. All right, we got bragging rights and crow bites, Steve. So we're gonna. All right. Well, we'll brag as much as we want, and then we're gonna obviously have to eat a little. So, D, take it away, man. What are we gonna start with?
So yes, so bragging rights and crow bites is where we get to brag about something we got right throughout the year or the last week. Crow bites is where we have to eat a little crow and talk about something we got wrong. And I'm not gonna lie to you, it was hard for me to find something to brag about from this past week.
I have like nothing to brag about. I got like one thing.
Yeah, it was tough. I had a lot of crow to eat. But let's go ahead and get the bragging rights and start positive. So let's start with Nikki. Ladies option, but you get to go first.
Yeah, no, I'll go first because I don't have much, and I really had to like go through my notes from last week, and I was just like, I got so many things wrong. I did say San Fran and the 5, so
yes,
hey, they covered.
No, that's she's like that. That's it. That's all
I got.
Yeah, no, that was a good call for sure. So I like that one. What are you bragging about this week, Jay?
Well, I'll add a little more spice to it because I did hit my 3-team parlay for the third time in 5 weeks. I am very excited because my bank account went up. Browns. I was getting 3.5. They only lost by 2, but I would have won outright if not for Brandon Fairley. What a schmuck. Anyway, I also told you Cowboys win outright. I was getting 5.5 points against the Rams. Wipe that one clean. And that awful Colts-Broncos game, which we told you was going to be ugly, disgusting, pathetic. It went under 45.5. That was easy. I mean, the total score was what? It was 12-9. What, 21 points in that game? Yeah. Easy money, baby. Easy money.
No, that was a great parlay right there. I call them parpays because we get paid.
Oh, I like that. Patent that. You should patent that. That's what
I should. I gotta go ahead and license that. So, but I like that one. For my bragging rights, I did call Atlanta would do the backdoor cover.
You did.
So I did get that one right. So that'll be my one bragging point, and I'll go ahead and do the full circle and eat some crow. I gotta eat crow on Jacksonville. Oh my God. I was very, very sure that they would beat Houston. I was so sure that they would beat the Houston Texans, and man, did they lay an egg. Trevor Lawrence right now is not looking like he's not taking a quantum leap. He's not doing leap and bounds. He's not
jumping.
He's not dunking a basketball. He's not getting off the ground at all right now. It's looking rough. I'm not giving up on him as far as the quantum leap because he's shown some flashes here and there. He's had some good games, but these past 2 weeks, man, have been really, really rough on Trevor Lawrence. I don't know what's going on, but shout out to Houston, man. They stood in there and got a big interception when Jacksonville looked like they were going to take the lead. Because the funny thing is, quick story, I was at the bar watching the Saints game, and there's this guy who's trying to get people to sign up for MGM for their betting thing. So he comes to me, he's like, "Oh, you get a free bet, you deposit whatever, and they match it, blah blah blah." So I'm like, "All right, I'll do a bet, and I'll deposit, a small amount of money, and I'll do the free bet." So I'm like, "All right, let me live bet Jacksonville because they gotta win this game." At that point, it was like 6-6. I'm like, they gotta win this game. The live bet that time was Jacksonville minus, I want to say 3.5. I'm like, I'll take that. They got to come back and win this game. Then I see them driving. I'm like, oh, I'm about to, come through on this. And then Lawrence throws that interception. So good thing it was a free bet. But I was just so mad about it. But yeah, that's my crow, man. Jacksonville and Trevor Lawrence eating big crow on that.
That's right. And you know what's something that I don't think any of us knew before the game, that Houston had won 8 games in a row against Jacksonville?
I did not know that.
I didn't know that either. I did not know that. Otherwise, I may have changed my pick, to be honest.
The AFC South has a lot of weird streaks
Yeah.
A lot of weird ones going on there. So I did not know about that until after the game. I was like, maybe I would have rethought that if I knew,
right?
If that was the case going in. But yeah, that's my crow right there, is Jacksonville and Trevor Lawrence. So Jay, what are you eating crow on this week?
Yeah, I got some crow to eat, man. Look, I told you to lock in Green Bay. I was so confident about that, but you know what? I'm glad Nikki's Giants won, so I'm glad that happened. But the major thing I have to eat crow on more than anything is that I told you guys that the Steelers are going to be a playoff team. Damian, you're killing me on that one, and you can continue to kill me on that because they're 1-4. I don't know how they're going to come back, even with Pickett to Pickens and so on and so forth. Pickett would have to win, honestly, Rookie of the Year in order for them to come back and be a playoff team. That's how well he would have to play and get Deontay Johnson, more involved, and Pickens obviously involved. But God, they play the Bucs, the Dolphins, the Eagles, and their next 3 games in the schedule coming up. I mean, they just have a murderous row going on right now, and I don't see any way the Steelers come back from it. So major crow I got to eat on Pittsburgh this year, and it sucks, man. I love Mike Tomlin. You're my guy, but unfortunately, you're going to be under 500 this year. Damn it.
Yeah, all good things come to end, man. Like to be a coach this long and this to be the first year where you go under 500, it's nothing to hold your head down about Mike Tomlin. So
yeah, true.
You definitely still got to respect as one of the best coaches in the league.
Hell yeah.
What are you eating your crow on this week, Nikki?
Oh my God, just pick a game. Pick a game. Any game. I probably have to eat crow on it.
You didn't do that bad, you guys. I have your records we'll talk about in a minute. You didn't do that bad.
I feel like I did. Well, one of my bets of the week was Denver to cover 3.5. So sorry about that. I think I even locked that. So I don't know what I was thinking. And I guess maybe I'm really not giving the Jets enough credit. I had them scoring like 17 points. So, I kind of messed up on that one too. I probably need to give them a little bit more credit than I do. I'm just so used to them being so horrible.
My Jets fans are freaky happy right now. They are loving what they're seeing. They haven't put up 40 points in 38 years. It's nuts. Can you believe it?
Yeah. That's crazy, right? That's a crazy stat right there.
I just made that up.
Okay.
It's probably accurate. It's probably accurate.
It might be accurate.
Dang, man, you haven't had a game like that? Oh, that's crazy. But I mean, the Jets look great, man. That defense flying around. Now, of course, it was close for the most part. They just went crazy in the fourth. But that game right there, man. And of course, Miami, it sucks for them. Lose Tua, then you lose Teddy on the first possession of the game. That's absolutely rough for them. But the Jets, man,
Tua's back practicing, but he's not going to play this week. But a good sign, he's back practicing at least.
That's a very good sign. I'm happy to hear that. And they did announce that Skylar Thompson, that's his name, will be starting this week.
Yeah.
So that's rough for Miami fans.
You ain't kidding. They're playing Minnesota this week, and we shall talk about those games in a bit. But to give you a quick update on the teams that we picked, we went over last week. For those who were listening, we each picked 10 teams this year. We had a team draft. Right now, Nikki is in the lead. She has 27 points, 27 wins, I should say. I have 25, and Damien had a rough week with his teams. He's at 21 right now because we were all neck and neck last week. It was 2019, 18. So his team's got a little bit of catching up to do. So that's how it goes right now. And as far as our weekly records, Nikki, you went 9-7. You double locked, and Damien, you triple locked at 9-7. But that really doesn't matter because I went 11-5. So I do get.
Did you? You went 11-5 last week?
Yeah, record this week. Yeah,
that's a good week right there. It was a rough week for most people. So shout out to the prophet.
I told you it. Thank you very much. I told you once week 5 hits, things get much better, and it's going to for all of us. We're all over 500. I only double locked because I locked Green Bay, which didn't work out pretty well. But anyway, nevertheless, I do get the victory this week as the year stands right now. I have 3 wins. Dee's got 2. Nikki's got 1. But we have a lot of year left. So why don't we get to the picks? You guys ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let me get my board down over here so I make sure I got this all accurate.
Looks like you're going to take my spot on Channel Side Bets next season. Kick Nikki out. Let's get Jay.
No, I can never fill your shoes. My feet are way too big anyway as it is.
I kind of have big feet for a girl.
Do you? You want to share what size foot you have to everybody listening?
Sure. I wear a size 9.
No. All right. That is kind of big. And you're only like, what, 5'3"?
5'3".
How about that? All right.
That's why she thinks I'm a giant, because she's 5'3".
Yeah.
The legend lives. It's real. It's real life Bigfoot here. Now, I got big feet too. I'm only like almost 5'10". I'm really not even 5'10", even though it says it on my license. And I got 12 size feet. My feet are fucking huge, man. It doesn't make any sense.
It is a Bigfoot podcast.
It really is.
I'm a size 13 over here. And the thing was, I thought I was gonna be way bigger. Like I hit my growth spurt super early, so I was wearing a size 13 at 13. So yeah, so my mom was super scared that she was gonna have to like go and get like the super expensive shoes and order them and all that stuff.
Yeah.
People thought I was gonna be like 6'6", but I stopped at 6'2".
Yep. See, might have been in the NBA. You never know. They say big feet travel a lot.
Well, that's true. I do travel a lot.
Yeah, you do. You do. You know, your feet are planted on the airplane securely. That's a good thing. Yes. Let the pilot do his freaking job, right? All right. We alluded to the shittiest game on the schedule, and that would be Thursday Night Football. Yes, they sucked us in because if you want to watch football on Thursday night, you have to watch the Commanders at the Bears. The game is in Chicago. Nobody cares. So why don't we pick it really quickly? Damian, what do you got?
I'm going Washington 17-14. No particular reason.
Yeah, there really should be no reason whatsoever to actually go with either one of these. So any rationale will do, Nikki. What do you think?
I think Justin Fields has a better day than Carson Wentz. Chicago 20, Washington 17.
I think
she's saying that because she's in Chicago. She doesn't want people to come
out. I don't want to
I love it. I love it. See, she's smart. Nikki knows.
Yes.
She knows how it means. I'm going with Chicago because they're at home and because they've played closer games than Washington has, even though Washington played a close game against Tennessee, but they lost again. Game I told you, take Tennessee. Beautiful thing.
Yeah, that's a funny segment to do. One week we do it next week. Just the dumbest reason why you pick something, right? Because we're always like giving like legit like reasons why and stats, and just one week we should just be like, they're home.
Yeah,
I like their colors better.
Nikki thinks that this quarterback is more handsome than the other.
Yes,
something like that. Yes, something.
Oh, I should do that.
We can't pick San Francisco for each game. That's what that would happen.
Unless they play against Tampa Bay, apparently, right?
Oh, don't do that to me. Oh.
That would be it. That would be it. Models on the field. Who cares how they freaking played? They're handsome. It doesn't matter.
I'll do that one week. If I just completely in a few weeks, if I'm just totally out of it, I'm just gonna pick based on who's better looking.
One
That's funny. That should be a good one.
I have a friend. She was doing the draft with her husband. Her husband gave her like 2 or 3 options per pick, and she drafted the best looking guy every time. That was her rationale. And so far, they're doing pretty good.
Probably has a good team.
So far, not bad, actually. I forgot who they picked, but so far, pretty good. Anyway, my 49ers have been looking pretty good against inferior teams, and we play another one this weekend at the Atlanta Falcons, who managed to stay in games without throwing to Pitts and London once in a while, and Mariota doing this, and Al-Jariri, I can't even pronounce his name, coming in at running back now. So anyway, the game's in Atlanta, guys, and the 49ers are the better team, but we're in trouble. Like Trent Williams is still out on left tackle. You know, Javon Kinlaw didn't play last week, and then did Eric Armstead. Nick Bosa went out. I don't know what's going to be with them. So they're pretty banged up. Even still, I think the 49ers win. But I got to tell you right now, I'm going to be real with you. If Atlanta wins this game, I won't be shocked by it. I really don't. Grady Jarrett may have some sort of sick day. But officially, I will pick Nikki San Fran 26-23.
Well, Jimmy G is the better looking quarterback, and San Francisco is the better team. No, I'm going with San Francisco, and this will be my first lock, 34-17.
Hey, okay. I love when you guys lock in Frisco. Beautiful thing. All right, Dave, what do you think's going to happen?
We can make this one a trifecta. Going with San Francisco as well. I'm going to go San Francisco 23-14. I think that defense, even with the injuries, is still going to lock up Atlanta pretty good.
I sure hope so, man. And it looks like Ma just found out how cute San Francisco's quarterback is, she says.
Yes, he's a heartthrob, Jimmy G. Oh my God!
Yes, I feel like he's gonna be a more successful model than he is a quarterback. But
we'll real man. Is he married? Is he? I don't know. Is he married? He must have a pretty good looking wife, I would imagine. But I don't know.
I think he's still is living a single life. You know, I know he was out here really exploring the single range.
Ah, all right. So he's taking advantage. All right.
He's young though, right? He's still
30.
Young.
He's 30, 31, something like that. So, yeah, relatively young. Yeah, he's like D's age. Yeah, he's young. Yeah, D's like, yeah, he's young. He bet your damn ass he's young. Let's keep it going. The Patriots, who shut out the freaking Lions last week, 21-0.
Speaking of protein, oh my god,
Oh,
for real.
I
Told you guys they were going to run the damn ball all freaking game anyway. They won big time. They killed the Lions. The Lions, who the highest scoring team in the NFL, did not score a point against the Patriots last week. But now New England goes on the road. Bill Belichick revenge game against the Cleveland Browns. All right, the Browns are at home in this one, Nikki. Do you think they can handle the Patriots running game in the mind of Bill Belichick?
I don't know. Patriots defense is picking it up a little bit here. I think they have a stronger run game. I'm going to go New England 23, Cleveland 16.
Hey, all right, New England. All right. I think it's going to be a really close game. It's going to be a battle of the run game and who's going to be able to do it better. Will crowd noise come into effect for Cleveland? Will that help them out with, Billy Zippity Zappity back there? Or could Mac Jones come back? I don't know. But, D, I'm going to go with Cleveland, I think, in this one. It's going to be really close, 22-20.
Yeah, I'm going Cleveland as well. No Damian Harris for
right.
New England.
But Rodgers Stevenson is no slouch, though, man.
Yeah, no, he's very, very good. But when you have Cleveland with Nick Chubb and company, I think they have the advantage there. So I'm gonna go with Cleveland 20-17.
Well, I am with you. What up, Courtney? We love you, brother. We love you, man. All right, so Nikki is going Lone Ranger on that bad boy, going with New England. And our next matchup is the Jets and the Packers. So the Jets coming off a big win, feeling confident. The Packers, what the fuck? So they need to get this shit right? Are they going to get it right? I don't know. Start using A.J. Dillon and freaking Aaron Jones more. Then you might start getting it right. I didn't see enough of that. Maybe they get back to basics this week, Damien. Excuse me. I do like Green Bay to win this game, and I'm actually going to lock it in. I know I'm maybe making a mistake because I locked them in against another New York, New Jersey team last week, but they have to win this one at home. Green Bay 31-18, Damien. Locking it in.
I'm going Green Bay, but I am scared to lock it in. This Jets team is feisty. They're coming in very confident. We all know, if you're feeling good, you play good, and the Jets may mess around and pull an upset. But I'm going Green Bay 21-17, but I do like the Jets to cover the spread.
Okay. I think what is it, 7.5 or something? I haven't checked. I have to get back.
I believe it was 7 when I checked it.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. All right. So D likes a little bit closer of a game. We both like Green Bay. Nikki, I don't know. Can the Jets pull out the upset?
Well, since I haven't given them any credit, I mean, yeah, sure, they could, but I don't think Aaron Rodgers lets that happen this week. I'm going to go. I wouldn't lock it though, but I'll go Green Bay 27, Jets 19.
I feel like I'm being a little risky locking it. All right, Green Bay.
You got to hit us with your trifecta sound effect.
Yeah, that's right. You're the last one to go. She's supposed to do it. Try.
I have to do it?
Yeah, you're the last one.
No. You guys do the sound effects here on the show.
No, I know. I got to find one for trifecta. I know. I'm lacking in that. My bad. All right, let's go to the AFC South, where Mike Patton would be happy to be covering the Jaguars and the Colts. The Jaguars look like hell against Houston, another AFC South opponent, and the Colts. Okay, so they beat Denver. What's the big freaking deal? Jonathan Taylor might not be in this game. That's a big problem. You still only have Mike Pittman to throw the ball to, Nikki. I don't know. Jaguars already beat them down this year. That was in Jacksonville. This time the game's in Indianapolis.
Yeah, I know. And I don't think that that's going to happen again. I really hate this game. Like, I just don't know what to expect from either team. Like, Jacksonville going to show up and, like, just completely dominate, or is Indy going to show up? Like, I have no idea. But talk about picking it for random reason. I don't know. Indy's home, 23-20.
Sometimes that does it. Sometimes you just go with the home team. I don't know. D, what do you think? Again, I know you've been high on the Jaguars this year. Can they come back from a shitty loss? What do you think?
I hope so. Like Nikki said, though, you can't really – it's hard to pick this game because both teams are so inconsistent.
Yeah.
Well, Jacksonville is consistent. The Colts have been consistently bad. I will say that. So I'm going to go Jacksonville in this one. I feel like they have to have a rebound game here, but I'm going to go Jacksonville 17-13.
17-13. All right, so low scoring game. Yeah, I don't think a lot of points are going to be scored in this game. I think it's 20-17, and I'm going to side with Nikki. I think Indianapolis wins this game. Actually, I think it's going to be by a field goal at the end of the game. It'll be one of those type of games, close, ugly battle, a few turnovers by both sides. Let's see how it shakes out. All right, so D, you are a Lone Ranger on Jacksonville. Let us go to our next matchup, and that would be the Vikings and Dolphins, where we already talked about Skylar Thompson will be starting this game too, or maybe coming back in a couple of weeks. He got thrown into that Jet game. Things did not look good. He looked good in the preseason, but that's a preseason. Let's see how he does with a full week of practice. Will they run the ball more, Miami? Now, the Vikings, they're 4-1, but they're inconsistent to me as well, Nikki. So I don't know what to make of the Vikings as much. They are the better team coming in, maybe because of the quarterback situation, but that's not all there is to it. But the thing I'm afraid of from Miami's standpoint, Nikki, is that their secondary is banged up, and you got to deal with Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I'm going to go with Minnesota 24, Miami 20.
Okay, 24-20. So a little bit of a tight game. Miami's still got a good defense, D. So, they could keep this one close. If they do just kind of dink and dunk on offense, can the defense hold it down? I don't know. What are your thoughts, man? Minnesota coming into town.
Yeah, it's hard for me to go with the rookie, 7th round pick as a quarterback to win the game against Minnesota. That's tough. So I'm going to go Minnesota in this one, 24-17, and I'm locking it in. Clink, clink.
Oh, okay. I would definitely be afraid to lock this in. What's that, Nick?
I would be afraid to lock this game.
Yeah. It's a tough one. All right, so you got some cojones on you.
I live dangerously. it's spicy. I live dangerously.
Danger? My middle name is Danger. I laugh at Danger. There you go. All right. Well, I went back and forth in this game because you guys know I'm high on Miami, but right now they're playing at a low. And again, Skylar Thompson, I don't know. I'm going to go Vikings in a really close one, 19-17. Our next game, Damian, your team, you take it away. Bengals at Saints. The Saints, they let up a whole bunch of points, and they scored a whole bunch of points. And Taysom Hill might be a top 10 player in the NFL at this point, no matter what position you want to put him at, quarterback, tight end, running back. The guy freaking does it all. So he's been a huge bright spot. Jameis Winston, don't know if he's coming back. Andy Dalton, whatever. You know more than I do in this game. But Bengals, a team that lost to Baltimore in a close game on a Sunday night. Now they're 2-3, going against the Saints, who are 2-3 as well, I believe, right now.
Yeah.
All right. So I don't know, man. You lead us off over here. You know more about this game than I do.
Oh man, this is a tough one. But our defense is banged up. Marshawn Lattimore got hurt towards the end of the last game, and you would love to have Marshawn Lattimore going against Jamar Chase. You want our secondary to be healthy going against that, wonderful wide receiver core that Cincinnati has. I believe Jameis Winston, he did practice today. I don't know if it's official he's coming back. Michael Thomas is coming back for this one. So I think it's going to be a good game, but I am going with the Cincinnati Bengals to beat the Saints in this one, 28-24.
Oh, my God.
We have a very right now.
I just got cold. That's hell freezing over.
Right? I think the world just flipped on its axis just now. That is amazing. Damian is picked against the Saints, and they're at home.
God.
Wow.
Wow.
Stop the presses, baby. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Talk about the real deal right there. He gave it to you. Real facts right now.
Something weird is going to happen now.
Man. I hope Michael Thomas comes back because I am thin this week with all the bye week, with the 4 teams on bye weeks. I am screwed. I need Michael Thomas to be healthy this game, and I hope he plays well. Will it be well enough? I don't know, because I think that Cincinnati is going to win this game. Again, you mentioned Marshawn Lattimore. That is a big thing. But here's the recipe for beating Cincinnati, and Baltimore did it. Play cover 2. Play cover 2 shell. Don't let them throw the ball long. If the Saints can do that and frustrate them enough into turnovers, they could win the game. However, I don't know if they can score enough points because you know what, Nikki? Cincinnati's defense is very underrated right now. They are playing some really, really tough football, and I'm impressed by that way more than their offense. If their offense catches on, then they will be a tough team to beat, even though I didn't have Cincinnati in the playoffs at all. Not to prolong it anymore, but I agree with Damian. I got a 27-23 Cincinnati. Are we making it a try, or are you going to try something else?
I am not trying anything else. I'm going to be Cincinnati. What do I have? 31-21.
31-21. Okay, so we get some points scored in that game, but since he wins comfortably in New Orleans, according to Nikki, we all got Cincinnati on this one. Road team. Let's see if New Orleans can prove us wrong. Nikki, you're up next. Actually, this sucks for you. I mean, your household's going to be fucking crazy this weekend because the Ravens play the Giants. Oh, my God. Are you guys going to be in the same room? I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how this is going.
We're going to the game.
You're going? Oh, that's amazing. Great. Talk to me.
Is it amazing? I don't know. Every time we've gone, it's no. What do you mean it's going to be crazy? It's already crazy. So I was happy to, have to come to a work conference because if I have to hear about just how great Lamar Jackson is one more freaking time, Oh God, I hate
But
this game.
But how about this? You know what a great thing for you guys is, Nikki? Is that
What?
Wink Martindale was the defensive coordinator
I
for the
know.
Ravens all those years, and now you
I
got
know.
him, so he knows
But
what.
that means the Ravens know, like, so the Ravens know what Wink's going to plan, right?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
But I do think the Giants are going to try to take away the Ravens' big play ability. Thing is, like, you just don't contain Lamar Jackson. I don't see how the Giants could beat them. I have to go Ravens 17, Giants 14. I do not think this is a high scoring game at all whatsoever.
Okay. So relying on Marcus Peters and Marlon Humphreys maybe to play some man coverage or something this time. I don't know. Maybe they drop back in the zone. I don't know what's going to be best for him deep. But you know what? They don't have a lot of wide receivers they got to worry about. They got to worry about Saquon Barkley, who is leading the league in total yards right now from scrimmage.
Yeah, Saquon's been amazing. Nikki was definitely on point by calling that one for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't think he'll have enough because they'll be putting 8, 9 in the box every time. And they'll be, like you said, they'll depend on those corners to play tight man-to-man on those wide receivers who aren't the best for the Giants right now. So I'm going to go Baltimore 24-21. I do think it's a good game, so I think you guys will be entertained there in person. But Baltimore wins a close one.
Yeah, I think it's a trifecta. I got Baltimore as well in a close game, 23-19. Again, Nikki, that's a good point. It can go both ways with Wink Martindale, excuse me. Yeah, we'll see. I think it'll be a tough game. But again, Lamar Jackson is that X factor. I mean, we saw at the end of the Cincinnati game when it was on their last drive and they needed to get into field goal range. He did it, no problem. He ran the ball. He made the passes he had to. Easy. So, no, I think a really good game. And, wow, I'm rooting for the Giants, to be honest with you. But Baltimore, I do think, comes out on top. Next, we go to Pittsburgh, where they host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And now the Bucs come in banged up as well, offensively, a little bit defensively, playing good on the defensive side of the ball, guys. The Steelers have been an absolute mess. It's going to take time for them to get it together. They have good players, but again, Najee Harris not running the ball really well. Their offensive line not playing really well. Same old problem. So I got to think that the Bucs take advantage and win this game. I don't think that they're going to destroy them. I think it will be close because, again, Tampa Bay, I don't see putting up a lot of points. So I got a really close game, Damian, 2017 Tampa Bay.
Oh, I do not think it's a close game. I think that Tampa Bay.
Hold on. You think Pittsburgh Tampa Bay is close?
Yeah, I do. I really do.
If you just ate crow?
Yep. I got Pittsburgh losing the game, but I think that they somehow keep it close because I'm not in love with Tampa Bay right now. That's it. It's not Pittsburgh. It's more Tampa Bay. Like how I told you last week that the Rams, their offense is what the hell's going on. That's why I was so confident in picking Dallas. And I feel the same thing right now with Tampa. Like, I know they put up 31 against Kansas City, but a lot of that was garbage. They're not doing a good job. 25 against Atlanta? Come on.
Yeah, no, their offense definitely is struggling, but Pittsburgh is bad everywhere. So because of that, I am taking Tampa Bay 24-10 to beat Pittsburgh.
That's the score I have, 24-10, and I'm locking it in.
She's locking.
I'm locking it in as well. Sorry,
you are. I figured. I'm like, dude, you got to be the way you're talking about it. These guys got to be locking this in. All right, we all got Tampa, but the two of you were locking it in. All right. Well, let me get to my second lock right now, which would be those freaking Rams that I told you about that can't score, but they will be able to score against Carolina, and Carolina will not be able to score against them. I'll make it really quick. I think the Rams win the game. Kupp has one of those 12 catches, 189 yards for 2 touchdowns. It's going to be bonkers. Give me the Rams 28-16, Nikki, and I'm locking it in.
Yep, this is my final lock. I'm locking the Rams 24, Carolina 14.
All right, so a 10-point win there. D, try, or?
Yeah, I'm definitely going with the Rams, but I do think it's a close game. You got the new coach bump. There's 3 things you can depend on in life: death, taxes, and teams playing better when they get a new coach. So I am going with the Rams, but it's a close one, 20-14.
I don't know if Brent meant I'm such a hater or Nikki.
Probably me, because we've been going at it for a few days.
All right. I'm not sure because I don't even know what I said. 5 minutes into it, I don't even know what I said anymore. But I tried to make good points, and sometimes
I'm sure it's me. I'm sure
all right.
Directed at me.
Well, you got to live with him, so maybe it's better that it's me. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Anyway, Nikki, why don't you kick this game off over here? Cardinals Seahawks. Not a game that people really want to watch, but you know what? It might be the most exciting game of the whole weekend.
Yeah.
I actually think this is not the greatest matchup for Seattle.
Okay.
So I actually am. I don't think they're going to have an answer for Hollywood Brown or Zach Ertz. So I'm going to go Arizona 31, Seattle. They'll score 27.
Okay, she likes Arizona in this game, and I guess Brent is trying to clarify over here, but I'm not so sure because we both lost to the Ravens in the Super Bowl. Both our teams did. So that
I told them not to bring it up anymore. Get off the show. Just go do something like.
I'm not sure. Yeah, we both lost to him. I mean, come on. I don't know. I'm not sure. I feel bad right now. I don't know what to do. Oh my God, D! I think this game is going to be high scoring, man. Lots of points. We saw what happened. Seattle, New Orleans. Again, I think that was probably more of a fabrication. But Arizona is going to score a lot of points, and neither one of these teams can stop anybody. 33-30. I'll go with the home team. Give me Seattle.
Okay, I'm with you. I'm going Seattle 30-27, and I think we have to say it out loud. Geno Smith is a good NFL quarterback.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, man.
Yeah, he threw some dimes against the Saints. The Saints defense isn't great right now, but it's still a decent defense. It isn't one of the worst ones in the league. And he was out there throwing some dimes and making some plays. And he's great at run. Yeah, he's great at throwing on the run. Like he's looking down the field. He has a great touch on the ball when he's moving. So Geno Smith, man, has a crazy turnaround what we thought he was going to be. So hopefully he continues. But he's going to make some money this offseason. He continues playing like this.
I could tell they are not missing Russell Wilson right now because of Geno Smith. He's doing everything he possibly can to win them games. And who the hell would have thought that Geno Smith, one of the top-ranked quarterbacks in the NFL, backup for the Jets and the Giants. If you're a backup for the Jets and the Giants, I mean, you got to think that your career is in the complete shitter. This guy goes to Seattle and starts lighting it up. I don't know. Anyway, ready for the game of the week? Ooh, let's do it. AFC divisional battle, AFC championship battle from the year before. The Bills going to Arrowhead again. They have to figure out how to win there no matter how many points they put up. They can't seem to figure it out. Is this the year they do it, D? They're our Super Bowl team, all three of us. Are they going to beat the Chiefs in Kansas City this year, this weekend? What do you think?
Quick tangent before I make the pick. Why is this not the Monday night game?
Yeah. I know. I agree.
Thank you. Why is it freaking Denver, right?
Like, usually I would be mad about Dallas, Philly, but that's actually for the first time in a long time a good NFC East Sunday night matchup.
They got that right.
Yeah,
I can understand Denver, LA, but you know what? Do your schedule a favor and put them in prime time. Come on.
Yeah. No, this game, Kansas City Buffalo has to be prime time. Like that's crazy. That's not prime time. But with that being said, I'm gonna go Buffalo, 31-28. I think they slayed a dragon in Kansas City this time.
All right. Buffalo, they've been, look, they're number one, number two, maybe number three in a lot of people's lists, but Kansas City's right there also, Nikki. And again, games in Arrowhead. Patrick Mahomes right now is probably the MVP, even over Lamar and some other guys that you may want to mention. So what do you think about this game?
I think that I've noticed Mahomes is getting a lot more patient behind the line, right? Like he's kind of growing into that. I think that the Chiefs are going to have a better success with the run game. So I'm going to go Chiefs 31, Buffalo 27.
Okay, so a lot of point scoring in this game over here. Man, this is a hard game to pick. I just don't know. I think that Buffalo maybe wins because they have the better defense and they may be able to rush Patrick Mahomes a little bit more, even though Mahomes is an absolute magician. God, it's really hard to pick. But Josh Allen, again, you're talking about an MVP. He's playing like an MVP as well, and he can run the ball. And I don't know. God, I went back and forth, guys. A whole lot of points I know were going to be scored. And at the end of it, I came up with numbers, and 42-37 were the numbers, and Buffalo was going to win the game. A lot of points.
You got a slobber knocker.
Yeah. Hey, we saw what these two teams can do to each other, so why not? But all right, so Nikki, you are Lone Ranger in Kansas City right now, and I can't blame you. I don't know. I'm tempted to pick Kansas City, but Buffalo, Super Bowl team, kind of got to go with them. Speaking of Super Bowl teams, here are my Eagles on Sunday Night Football hosting the Dallas Cowboys in a game that Nikki despises. She hopes they tie, obviously, or they both can lose somehow, but that's not going to happen. Anyway, definitely a better game than we all anticipated before the year started, even with Cooper Rush being the quarterback. Dallas defense is playing lights out. Now, the Eagles' offensive line is somewhat banged up with Kelsey over there, Lane Johnson, bringing in a couple of guys. So that can really favor Dallas at the line of scrimmage. And you guys know how I feel about the line of scrimmage. But then I look at the quarterback, Jalen Hurts, Cooper Rush. Come on. A.J. Brown, C.D. Lamb. I'll give it to A.J. Brown. Devontae Smith is better than any of their second guys. All that being said, plus the fact that the Eagles also play really good defense, I'm going to give it to the quarterback who I like more. I think it will come down to Jalen Hurts making more plays than Cooper Rush. I will take Philadelphia at home. Not sure about it because Dallas is playing great, but I think Philly remains undefeated, Nikki, 24-17.
Yeah, I think they do too. I think that the Cowboys will have a hard time against their pass rush, and I think Darius Slayton is going to shut down C.D. Lamb. Philly 24, Cowboys 17, and I hate this game with all my heart.
I know you do. I know you do. Oh, man. All right, so we have the same score, 24-17. We got the Eagles winning. D, what are you going to do?
Yeah, can you make this a trifecta?
All right.
I got Philadelphia winning as well. And I think Philadelphia's offense is able to do a little bit more than most offenses have been able to do against Dallas. So I'm going Philadelphia 20-10. Like you said, Cooper Rush.
Wow.
Can we please stop the madness, mainstream media?
Come on. Guys, 102 yards. Give me a break.
Yeah, he does. He literally, like, when you talk about manage the game, like, that's literally what he's doing. He's only managing the game. He's handing off, and Tony Pollard is taking off for big rushes, or Ezekiel Elliott is keeping the chains moving. That's literally what's going on here.
Yes.
So let's stop the madness. Philadelphia 20-10 because they have a real starting quarterback.
10 points. That's interesting. Look, defensively is how they scored half their points against LA. So I understand, man. They are not like they're juggernauts on offense. Let's not get crazy over here. And Tony Pollard, I think, is going to be hurt for this game. It's going to hurt Dallas even more.
That takes away the explosive run because Ezekiel Elliott's been doing good, but Tony Pollard's definitely more explosive at this point.
Without a doubt. At this point in his career, I have a question about it. You can't even argue it. No, not at all. Final game of the week that we shall pick because it is the only game left, and that would be Monday Night Football. And we talk about those lazy-ass Broncos who just can't run races anymore. I mean, the horses are like dead. Put them to sleep. God, that's it. End of story. They're playing the Chargers against the worst coach and maybe two of the worst coaches in the NFL in this one, Nathaniel Hackett and Brandon Staley. I will not call him by his last name until he gets his shit together or he gets fired. Then I'll call him by his last name anyway. But anyway, Denver can't score. And LA's defense, the Chargers defense, has not been great, but they're going to be good enough to shut down Russell Wilson, and they'll score enough points to win the game. Albeit not a whole lot of points because Denver still has a really damn good defense, Nikki. But I will take the Chargers to win the game 20-10.
Oh, yeah. I'm done picking Denver. Like, I'm going to take the Chargers 27, Denver. All right. Maybe we'll score 20.
All right. Fair. By the way, I did forget to mention, this is my last lock, by the way. So the Chargers will be my last lock on Monday Night Football. So me and Nikki got the Chargers, D. What do you got to close it out?
Yeah, this one is another trifecta.
Yes,
as
sir.
I go with the Chargers, I'm gonna go 17-13 for the Chargers. Denver just can't score enough, but the Chargers will be able to score just enough against that tough Denver defense.
Good deal. All right, I locked in Green Bay, Rams, and Chargers, both LA teams. Nikki locked in San Fran, Tampa Bay, and the Rams as well. D, you also locked in Tampa Bay. You got Minnesota, and who's your third lock? I'm sorry.
Philadelphia. I locked in Philly.
Oh, Philadelphia. Right. Philly. Let me get to it. Locked in Philly. Okay. All right. Those are the picks. We're going to see who wins week 6. And now, best bet time. Right, guys? So let's get to our best bets. Last week, as a team, we did better. Again, that Detroit game, New England game, we throw it out because we didn't all agree on it. But we gave you -5 for the Niners, and we gave you +5.5 for the Cowboys. We hope you listen. We hope you pocketed some money on that. We'll get to the best bet, but we got to go around and do our individual best bets. So we get 3 each, and then we're going to come to a team bet.
Yes. So, man, I text you guys. This week is tough as far as that you like. I was really having a tough time picking some. Mm-hmm. I know we won't agree on this one because you think that Pittsburgh will stay close, but I like Tampa Bay to cover 8.5.
Me too.
Okay. Ooh, you guys both like that. I'm sorry to hear that. That's okay. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe the Steelers defense decided to play. I don't know.
No, Jay. The Steelers defense is not going to decide to do anything. The Steelers are not going to decide to do anything.
I feel overconfidence in a pick is a bad thing. You need to be a little about it. You guys aren't at all. You're way too confident in this. I can't do it. But hey, you both like Nikki. That's one of your best bets also.
Yeah, that's my first one.
Man, you guys kill me. All right, we're going to have to come to some sort of agreement over here. D, I know you hate to hear this, man, but we all picked the Bengals, and they're favored by a point in New Orleans. To me, that tells me all I need to know. Give me the Bengals minus 1 point. So that'll be my first one.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that one. I wouldn't lock that one in just because they're playing in New Orleans, and New Orleans make it. James is back. Michael Thomas is coming back. So I think that one, like I said, I picked the Bengals, but I'd be scared to lock it in New Orleans.
I hear you.
All right, for my second one, I love Minnesota -4 versus Miami. Miami going in there with a rookie quarterback, 7th rounder against Minnesota with all the weapons they have on the offense. You mentioned the banged up secondary for Miami. Everything points to Minnesota winning by more than 4 points.
Does point to a win, that's for sure. By how many points remains to be seen, but it definitely points to a win. I know why we all agree on that. Nikki, what's your second?
Green Bay covering the 7.5.
I am never trusted Green Bay again after that Giants game.
I know.
No.
I feel like it's a revenge game for them. I'm kind of with. That's not one of my picks, but I'm kind of with her on that. I feel like they're going to come back.
I am not losing to another New York team. Hell no, not happening.
What would worry me about that game is the Jets scoring like a back-end touchdown, like D talked about with Atlanta last week. Scoring a back-end touchdown and just null and voiding the whole thing and us.
I think they're getting a pissed off Aaron Rodgers, and we have all seen that before.
Yeah.
I feel like he could be as pissed off as he wants to be if he ain't throwing the ball to nobody. He just mad. like he doesn't trust his receivers right now. And they don't trust. They got to run the ball more, like Jason said earlier. There's no way they should have gave that lead to the Giants. Like they definitely got to run the ball more and be able to put games away. Maybe they'll do it this week. So
they will. They will. Cowboys Eagles game. We all like the Eagles, but damn, this game will be a field goal game no matter what. The Cowboys may win it. I don't think so, but they're getting 5 points. Love it because of that defense. I'll take 5 points against the Eagles all day, even though I think the Eagles probably win it again by maybe a field goal. I don't know, maybe 4 points. I don't know. I forgot what score I picked, but you know what? I got to go back to the score and check it out because you know what? I do like Cowboys covering the 5 game.
Oh, I don't. I got Philly winning by 10 in that one. I feel like Cowboys. Yeah, because the Cowboys offense just doesn't have much. You mentioned Tony Pollard's not there, and you got Slay locking up CD Lamb. I can see the offense struggling a lot.
Okay.
Their defense is still phenomenal, but yeah, it's going to be tough.
I got it 24. I think I said 24-17. I got it 24-20. Just I wanted to clarify that, but go ahead.
Okay. For my third one, I got your 49ers, 5.5 against Atlanta. I think they cover that.
That's my third one too.
Jeez, you guys, I can't lock in my 9.
Don't accuse us of talking on the Peloton leaderboard. Just stop.
Lock them in again. Let me give you a couple of over-unders. Let me see what you guys think of these. I don't think the Jaguars and the Colts are going to score a lot of points. I know it's a low over-under, but to me that indicates that the game is going to be a low-scoring game. It's 42. I'm thinking like 2017 is 37 points. We win. I don't know.
I have it at 43. I have it 23-20.
What about 53.5 for the Bills and the Chiefs? You guys like the over or the under?
We all like the over on that one because we all got a high scoring. Yeah.
Okay, so that could be a possibility. I like the over on that one too.
A little parlay action.
Yeah, a little parlay. We need to patent that because I swear, if I hear parlay,
you will hear it somewhere. That we'll hear it tomorrow on a 4-letter network. I guarantee it. They're already taking so many things from us, like this or that, but that's another story. I do like the under in the Monday Night Football game, the Broncos versus Chargers, 45.
Yeah, I like the under in that one too. Sure.
What do you think, Nikki? Do you like that?
Yeah, I could see that. I have it at 47.
Not going to score. Denver's not going to score.
Yeah, I like the under. Sure.
Okay. All right. Well, those are all my picks. I mean, my top 3, like I said, the Bengals, the Cowboys, and I'll take the under in the Jacksonville Colt game. But I'll go over Bills, the Chiefs, and I'll go under Chargers, Broncos. And if you guys feel confident about a third one, I'll ride with you.
Okay. Now I like both of those. We could put those in the parlay. So we'll have the over for Buffalo, Kansas City, the under for Denver Chargers. And you want to pick one spread matchup for the third one?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you guys feel really confident about, like, the
Niners,
Tampa, the Niners, then I'll roll, even though I'm hesitant, unless we could find another one. I don't know. Is there any other ones that you guys like?
No.
No, like the ones I like the most.
Like no.
Tampa, like I said, I like Tampa Bay the most. But
Ian, I have it up right here. I picked the 3 that I like.
All right. So you guys want to go with either? I guess it's between Tampa Bay and San Francisco between you guys, right?
Yeah. So
what do you guys like more?
You like more, Nikki, Tampa Bay or San Francisco?
I think I like San Fran.
Okay, so yeah, we can San Fran -5.5 with the over for Buffalo, Kansas City, and the under for Denver and the LA Chargers as our parpay. As you heard it here first. If you heard anything anywhere else,
don't freaking steal that shit. Don't steal it. I can't spell Falcons. All right, I got our parpay in 1, 2, and 3. We're in. Man, love it. Parpay. All right, like we said, we did pretty good for you guys last week. Forget about that New England-Detroit game. It means absolutely nothing. But what does mean something is our final segment of the evening. As we've been rolling along over here, having a great time, but it's getting late. We're still got our freaky fantasy football draft. So let's make it happen. Before that, week 5 results. The points were 46, 53, and 122.
Golly.
Yep. I had 122 points. Josh Allen went off like crazy. The 49ers defense was great, and Mark Andrews had a couple of touchdowns. I got very lucky this week. So I won. That's 2 wins for me. Nikki's got 2 wins. D's got 1 win very early in the season. So that means I get to pick who goes first for week number 6. Who am I going to pick? Well, I went first last week, and I won, so I'm going to stick with that. And we're going to have Damien go second and Nikki, ladies, last this time. I'm sorry. But you get your double pick on the way around, so maybe that'll help you out. All right. First I go. Let's see. You guys are going to steal picks from me. I know it. But I will take – I think Cleveland's going to beat New England, but doesn't mean that Ramondre Stevenson's not going to have a big game. So I'm going to go with Ramondre Stevenson for my first pick.
No, that's a good pick.
Thank you, sir.
For my first pick, the Chargers, their run defense is still not good. In Denver, that's all they can do. So I'm going to take Melvin Gordon to have a big game.
You're not worried about that Boone kid getting some carries?
He'll get some carries, but I think Melvin Gordon is still the one they trust more, even though he's got fumbleitis.
Yeah.
they still trust him. Yeah. To get the ball.
Tiki Barber went over his house. He was like, here, take this shit. I remember when he fixed that thing, man. He was carrying that shit up by his neck. You know, there's no way he was letting anybody.
Didn't they have like Nicky probably knows better than anybody, but didn't they give him a ball with like a detector in it? If he dropped it past a certain angle, it made like a noise. Like they need to give that to Melvin Gordon for sure.
Great, yeah, I know Melvin Gordon could really use that. A veteran, no less, putting the ball on the ground that much. But all right, it's his job to lose right now. Nikki, you get 2 picks.
Whatever shall I do? I don't really remember who I took last week or anything.
Last week didn't work out for you, so don't worry about them.
No, I know, but I mean, like, I didn't look and see who I took in the past weeks. I'm
still keeping a running list, even though I told you I wouldn't. So I'll let you know. If,
I'm gonna take a risk here and take Hollywood Brown this week.
Oh, okay.
I like that against Seattle's defense for sure. That's a good one.
And
yeah, a lot of points we score in that game. That's not a bad pick at all.
Let me then just pair it with Kyler Murray.
I guess that makes logical sense, right?
Yeah, it does. I like it.
All right. So Kyler Murray, Marquise Brown. D, you already got Melvin Gordon. Who else are you going to go with?
All right. So I am going to piggyback off of Nikki and take Geno Smith.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm playing him in 2 fantasy leagues this week because Derek Carr is off. So I picked him up in 2 leagues, and I'm not pissed off about it. I think they're going to do pretty well. So, all right. So you get Geno. You're going to match him up?
Oh, man. Are you playing him in – I think I'm playing you in our league. Are you playing Geno Smith in the Real Deal League?
No, I still got Jalen Hurts. He'll never come out until his bye week, obviously.
He's never coming out. Never come out.
Never. So D, no, I'm sorry. That was your pick, Geno Smith. All right. So now I get 2. All right. Let me get to my list over here real quick. Washington's defense. No, I can't do that. Shit. I already made that pick. I'm sorry. I take that back. I will take, however, talked about a lot of points being scored. I know you're going to want one of these guys, D, so I'm sorry. I'm going to have to block you over here. I'm taking DK Metcalf. I don't know if he was on your mind.
Yep, that is a.
Yeah, I have sound effects. It's just a. Wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it definitely was a swipe right there.
Yes, I Metcalf you right there. So I'm going to take him in that high-scoring game. And I'm also going to go with – ooh, this one's tough. You know what? I'll go with – I know that Aaron Rodgers is having problems with his receivers, but he does trust Robert Tonyan. So I'll take Tonyan against the Jets.
Okay. Yeah.
I had another guy in mind I don't want to say, but yeah, it's a good pick. All right, D, you got Geno Smith and Melvin Gordon.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take a tight end. Seattle has given up the most points to tight ends in fantasy so far this year. Now, that could be a little inflated because Taysom Hill is technically listed as a tight end, and he went absolutely nuts. But I'm going to take Zach Ertz in this one.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I got to tell you, Taysom Hill being listed as a tight end helped me in FanDuel this week so much. I'm like, I get to put him at tight end? Are you kidding me? I put him in right. Bang, bro. Freaking guy scored so many points. It was ridiculous. So
it's in your league, the 3rd and 3 podcast league, I have Josh Allen and Taysom Hill. I won just with those two players alone.
Oh, yeah, no kidding. Yeah, that's all you need right there. I mean, they probably, between the two of them, they probably had over 100 points. I wouldn't.
Yeah, they did.
Oh my God, that's insane. Nice week. Well done. All right, Nikki, you have Kyler Murray and Marquise Brown so far. You got a tag team matchup over there. What else you got?
Yeah, let me get oh my gosh, I don't know. Let me get your guy over there in San Fran. What's his name? Wilson Jr.
Yeah.
Let me
Good
get him
pick this week. Good pick against Atlanta. And you get another one.
I get another one. Well, all right, just give me Taysom Hill since he apparently.
Damn it. Got to stop talking.
Yeah.
They definitely use them a lot more. I can see them getting even more carries and being used in a big way for sure. So that's a good.
I mean, he's even throwing touchdown passes for God's sake.
Okay. Yes.
They did finally. Every once in a while, they got to throw the ball just so the defense just doesn't sit on the run.
Right. Yep. I mean, it's he's like Tim Tebow on steroids. That's what he is.
Yeah.
That's
for
exactly
sure.
what he is. And he's right-handed. All right, Geno Smith, Melvin Gordon, Zach Ertz. So we need a wide receiver and a defense. Who are you going to go with first?
I'm going to go with Mike Evans against Pittsburgh.
Okay. I certainly like that pick as well. That's a good one right there. Unless Minka Fitzpatrick comes over and double him. But I don't think he can because Chris Godwin's playing. So picky poison right there. Mike Evans, nice pick. All right, I get to close it out with my team. I got Stevenson, Metcalf, and Tonyan. I need a quarterback and a defense. Let my defense be – we talked about it. The Bucks should be able to handle them pretty damn good. Yeah, I'm going to take the Bucks defense against Pittsburgh. Pickett still wet behind the ears trying to figure it out. So take me Tampa Bay. And my quarterback – again? Oh, man, I'm sorry.
You definitely got me with the Bucks defense for sure.
Competition, baby. That's what it's all about. We're always in each other's minds. We're always stealing from each other. It's amazing. It's really unbelievable.
We've been working together too long. What? So we're working together too long.
I know. I'm really. We all have the same Super Bowl team in the AFC. Forget that. You guys have the same exact playoff teams. I mean, there's not one difference among you at all. I'm just
that was nuts.
Yeah, that was weird.
Insane.
Especially for not like I know you joke that we discuss it, but obviously we don't. So that was very weird.
Yeah, we don't talk about it at all. We had no idea what each other were going to pick. Not a clue. Whatever. All right, my quarterback. All right, you know what? I'm going to take a chance. If on this week, I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to go with Aaron Rodgers. I already got Tonyan, so I'm going to go with Rodgers. So that'll close out my team.
Okay.
Think that he'll be able to throw at least 2 touchdowns this week, even though I think they'll be pretty run heavy. I think they're going to score. So anyway, that's my opinion right there. Anyway, D, you got Geno Smith, Melvin Gordon, Mike Evans, Zach Ertz. You need defense.
Since you took the Bucks defense from me, I'm gonna take the Vikings defense against Miami in that 7th round QB.
Probably a good idea. In that 7th round. Stick it right into Skylar Thompson. We know you're listening to Skylar. Sorry.
Yeah,
Go back
we
to
see all this. He's gonna go out there and throw for 330 yards and 4
I know,
touchdowns.
right? Tyreek Hill, I hear he's going to play. I think he's going to be all right. Him and Waddle, the cheetah and the penguin, back at it. All right, Nikki, you have Kyler Murray along with Marquise Brown. You also got Jeff Wilson Jr. I love it. And Taysom Hill at tight end. That's not fair. Who's your defense?
Well, I took a bunch of good defenses already. I think. Okay. I don't love it, but I'll take the Chargers defense.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll give it to you then. Chargers. Got it. All right, Nikki, that completes your team. Kyler Murray with Marquise Brown, my boy Jeff Wilson Jr., D's boy Taysom Hill, and the Los Angeles Chargers, who still can't stop the run, but maybe they will from Nikki this week. D, you got Geno Smith, which I think is going to be a high-scoring game with Arizona, along with Melvin Gordon, Mike Evans, Zach Ertz, and Minnesota. Defense against Miami. I have Aaron Rodgers going with Robert Tonyan at tight end, Ramondre Stevenson, no Damian Harris for New England. DK Metcalf in that high-scoring game. I swiped that away from D, as I did the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense. So a couple of swipe actions.
Double swipe me.
Yep, double swipe. Gotta love it. That's what happens when you win. You get to swipe people out. That's what I did. So week 6 is in the books. We got our picks. We got our locks. We got our best bets. We got our freaky fantasy football draft. And one more thing before we go that could have been in Putz plays was the Kyler Murray thing. I'm trying to put myself in his mind right there in that last play of the game where he slid. He didn't get the first down, which somebody should have told him. I don't know, again, the referee, is that his job? Should he be looking at the sideline, at the
rough job, yeah.
Somebody's got to tell him, because that was a bad look. Nikki, I don't know if you saw that, but because then they had to put out Matt Amendola, who can't kick field goals for his life.
So that's the problem. Why is he signed to another team?
I know.
Like he's already went out there and missed field goals for 2 other teams. You're like, we need a kicker. Let's go ahead and sign this guy who 2 other teams just cut.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Where are all the kickers in the world? Like, honestly, where are they? There's only 32 in the NFL. There's got to be more people out there who can kick a fucking football.
There's got to be. Like you know that there's only 5 elite ones, but you gotta have more that could be at a decent level than having to sign this guy who just got cut by 2 other teams. Like you got to do. I feel like whoever did that was just being lazy, because you didn't search for let me see who's out there who's a free agent, who was just in college last year, who still should be in shape, something like that. Like you just going for the guy who you heard his name, you're like, oh, he's an NFL kicker. No, he just got cut by 2 teams.
Why can't they look at CFL guys or USFL guys? What the hell? There are dudes around who can kick the freaking football. I don't know. But again, to me, kicking should be out of the game completely and totally. I freaking hate kicking. It sucks. We see how it ruins people's lives. Kicking is terrible. I hate it, but whatever. What are you going to do? Anyway, we did run long tonight, but I had a great freaking time as always. 3rd and 3, rocking out every Wednesday night live, 7 o'clock Eastern, unless Nikki is in another state. But as far as we know, we'll be back same time, same channel next week, guys. Nikki, I know you're busy over there, girl.
Yes, busy, but of course you guys can always find me on all social media platforms at NikkiNick9384. Let's see, Tuesday nights is Giants Rush at 8, and the Trenches now is live, so it's 6:30, 6:45. Of course, Wednesday, where else would I be except for here? And Sunday, you can watch me lose every single week on Channel Side Bets at 11:30. Except this week, I think we're going to be 9:30 or 10, because we are going to Giants Ravens. So I will let everybody know how that all works out for me.
Yes. And we'll see if she gets divorced after this weekend also.
We'll see.
Oh gosh. Well, good luck with that. D, man, you are kicking ass as always, brother. What's next?
Oh man, I appreciate it. So yes, you can find me on all social media platforms at The Real Deal WDA. That's where you can catch me giving commentary on so many different things, and my Real Deal bets, that's where you can catch the parlays that I give out. So big boxing weekend this weekend. So there's a parlay on my social media about that as well. If you want to listen to me actually break down the fights, subscribe to the GSMC Boxing Podcast. That one dropped this morning. The GSMC basketball podcast will drop tomorrow. But of course, this is my home, the 3rd and 3 podcast. And my baby is The Real Deal with Damian Adams. So some people ask me, they're like, man, your co-host Nikki, she always looks so good. How'd she do it? The way she does it is with the 3 Ps, right? It's Peloton, Pilates, and podcast. And she listens to my podcast each and every day. And that's what keeps her looking young. So if you want to look young, don't worry about eating right. Don't worry about exercising. Make sure you listen to my podcast that I do. All right. So subscribe to the 3rd and 3 podcast. If you're already here, cool. Once you get finished with this, subscribe to The Real Deal with Damian Adams. That comes out each and every week. And then also subscribe to the GSMC boxing and basketball podcast. And you'll be good to go. And you'll be healthy. Your chi will be centered. Your blood pressure will be low. Your cholesterol will be right in place. So go ahead and support me and check it out. All right.
Beautiful thing. Beautiful feeling. It will relax you.
I do love that. The 3 Ps of looking young.
Yes.
Right?
Peloton, Pilates, and podcasting.
The creative mind of The Real Deal, Damian Adams. It's amazing. You never know what's going to happen. And that's why he's wanted all over the place. And that's why he's on 58 podcasts. And he's got 8 days in a week and 25 hours in a day. More than others. Pull it off. Able to pull it off. Hey, 3rd and 3 is where it's at. And that's what's going to be happening every single week. NFL season. This is where we got. Hey, there's no better NFL show on the freaking world. I mean, look, dude, we go commercial free. We say whatever the fuck we want, like I just did now, because we can do it. All right. And we have a great time. This is my therapy. I love it. All right. And I love NFL Jeopardy. We'll keep it going on. Power 32 podcast. We'll put up power rankings every week. Right now, I got my power rankings at 3rd3podcast.com. Check them out. See if you agree. See where your team lands and falls. If it wherever, come at me. I'll take it. We can talk. We can debate. We can discuss. I love it all. On Twitter at SportsProfit1 is where you can find me. And you will find us back here next week doing the recap of week 6, but mostly looking forward to week 7. And God knows what's going to happen, guys. But we'll be here for it. But for now, we're out. Wave them up, Nick. See ya.
Bye.